Hey you guys, my name is Sydney with Sydney on Purpose, and I started this channel because I've been in business for almost a decade and I feel like I'm holding back so much information that I share one-on-one with a lot of people in my life, but I'm also a stay-at-home mom, which means most of the time I am hidden away. And so I'm just holding all of this information that I really feel like I need to put out there for people. And also, I am a Christian. I love God. I was radically saved when I was 16, taken out of a life of addiction and so much. There's so much to my testimony, which is on another channel on YouTube, which I'll share a little later. But there's so much in my life that I'm just so thankful for how far God has brought me. And he's also given me this thing for business. I have been entrepreneurial since I can remember. Just a little bit about my story. After 9/11, my mom had this idea for us to make beaded American flags with safety pins. It's hard to explain, but we made these like little pendants that could go on people's shirts. And we did it so that we could donate money to funding for like firefighters and first responders in New York. And I remember we made those, and I went up to people like at Kroger and other stores and I asked if they wanted to buy some. I asked people at school if they wanted to buy some. And pretty much every single person wanted to buy one. If you're a parent listening to this, give your child an exercise like that to do, because it sparked something in me that day where I realized that it's not that hard to ask people if they want to buy something. And I realized that people want to buy things. Like, people want to buy things that you make. I ended up making $11. I remember maybe $11.50. And after that, we took it to a donation jar at a local bank or something. We put the money in there. And I just remember thinking like, okay, so like I made all that stuff and then I just gave the money away. Like, what an interesting concept. I just remember thinking like, wow, that felt really good. I want to do that again. And so it lit a spark that day that I've pretty much never been able to put out. And I've tried working regular jobs. I've done regular hard jobs in my life. I did them well. I lasted, the longest one was 2.5 years. And that was long enough for me to realize that I am meant for more. And it's not that working an hourly job means you're meant for less. It just means that I was meant for more outside of like an hourly position. And I found that out when I started a wedding business when I was 22, and it's taken off ever since. Now I'm 30. And God has just been so kind to lead me in this entrepreneurial journey. And he's taught me how to keep him first in business, which is something that I feel like so many entrepreneurs lose sight of. They lose sight of like just the gravity of life and how money really doesn't buy you happiness. And yes, it's like you'd rather cry in a Ferrari. I get it. But I'm not materialistic. So at the end of the day, when I acquire more money or assets, I'm not always looking for like the next purchase. I'm actually looking now, I think this stems from childhood. I'm looking for a place to give. Like, okay, well, where can I funnel this to? And something that I heard in a sermon a long time ago for believers is to pray about your finances when finances come in. Pray, is this seed or is this bread? Am I supposed to eat this and consume it, or am I supposed to sow into something? And so, I think it's seed, bread, and storehouse. So like storehouse would be like savings. So obviously we know that God calls us to tithe, to give money to the church, to be generous because he can redeem the 90. And that's something that I've been working on very actively just this past year, because if you're in business, you're getting payments from all over the place. And I haven't always been completely on top of it. But this year in 2023, I made it a point. I was like, God, every single time a payment comes through my bank account, you're first. You get it first. I love you more. I love you more than money. I cannot serve both God and money. And that has been so life-giving just this year, to really just feel such a purity in my heart in that area. And it's like anytime that I pursue money or business endeavors, I have to check myself, because we're human. We are frail people. I'm not even going to act like I am some high and mighty person who doesn't get attracted to shiny objects. I'm just as prone to that as anybody else. My shiny object might be different than your shiny object, but it's still a shiny object, and it still might have potential to become an idol in my heart. And so I'm always checking that. And a way for me to feel really good about that is that I for sure am giving 10% to God first. And if anything, he doesn't need our money, right? So it's more for your heart than it is for him, if that makes sense. He desires obedience over sacrifice. And so I am obeying something that he has said is important, that's good for us. And the Bible does say that it's easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. And so I take those things very seriously, like the rich young ruler who didn't want to sell all of his possessions. Jesus like found that sweet spot in his heart where it's like, oof, I don't know if I trust you there, God. I want to be the one who trusts God with all of this stuff, with all of the abundance that he would send our way. And guys, we're so blessed. Obviously, we live in America. If you live in America, if you've made it to America, you hit the jackpot. You've won the lottery. We already are blessed. So then those verses that apply to us are, whoever's been given much, much is required of us. And so what are we going to do with these talents? Are we going to sleep on them? Are we going to bury them? This is a conversation of my life. I tell you, I have these conversations with myself all the time. I'm always asking the Holy Spirit if I am like stewarding time, talent, and treasure well. And it's something that I haven't always stewarded well, if I'm being honest. And I'll give myself a break. I understand. I've been a mother the past 4 years of 2 littles, and I had a miscarriage in 2021, which kind of rocked my world then. And so I understand. I do give myself grace, but you alone, you and Jesus know your capacity. I know my capacity. I know what I can handle. I know that I can handle a lot more than maybe someone around me. I know that I take on a lot more than many of the people around me. And if you're an entrepreneur, you've been graced to be able to do that. And that's a blessing. Like, I'll tell you, Andy Frisella is someone that I look up to so much. He has definitely been my coach from afar the past 4 years since becoming a mom, which is so funny because he doesn't have children, but he's in business and he's a CEO. He does the 75 Hard program, if you know about all of that. And so it's like Andy Frisella is so different than me in his life stage, but all of those mindset components that he preaches on every week in his podcast called Real AF, they are so relevant to a stay-at-home mom who's doing the daily grind, who's showing up even though she's hidden, who's doing the thing, who's doing the routine. You just keep on pushing. And then on top of that, you've got a business. And so you're like, all right, I've got to stay up late to answer these emails. I need to wake up early to work out. I need to find the time in the day rather than just, for lack of a better word, pissing it away. And I'll say there have been seasons where I have not done that well, and there have been seasons where I have. And this is a season where I'm feeling a lot of momentum, and I hope you are too. If you landed on this channel, if you're a mama, if you're a Christian, or if you're just somebody that's outside of the niche that I would be trying to reach, you are welcome here. And here's a place where we're going to talk about God. We're going to talk about our finances. We're going to talk about going for it and doing it, doing the thing that you are afraid to do. And all of those cliches can sound pie in the sky, but guys, honestly, my life has been built on just doing the thing that I didn't think I would be able to do. And I don't love the Enneagram because I feel like it puts people in boxes and they limit themselves because of like attaching it to their identity. And I was someone who did that at the time. When I found out that I was a 9 wing 8, I was like, oh man, 9s, that their struggle is sloth. So that means I'm just like, I struggle with just being passive and not really being a go-getter. But actually, I started to reject that identity. And I was like, no. Who does God say that I am? And so who does God say that you are? What are the things that he has put in you? What are places in your life that you have settled into comfort? You've settled into routine. You've settled into what is predictable. Anybody can change. You can change in 5 minutes. You can change in 5 years. But I'm telling you, you can dictate that and you are not stuck. You can move forward anywhere you want to go. All of this motivational speaker stuff, you know, it's for real if you apply it. And in this season, I have a baby. He's napping right now. It's like I have really honed these skills of self-talk and telling myself to get up and do the dang thing. And today, that's my message. I want to tell you to get up and do the dang thing. And I'll tell you something that has helped me in this season with that is something called master resale rights. If you haven't heard of this, it's something that's been sweeping around TikTok for at least 3 months now. And now it's sweeping around Instagram. And I bought this course with master resale rights. Let's see, I got it 12 days ago. and I've already made my first sale. So let's talk about it. This isn't an ad. This is purely just something that I wanted to talk about. This has lit a fire under me to really show up more than I thought I ever would. So I've been in the wedding industry, like I said, for almost a decade, and I can't scale it. I've tried to scale it. I don't want to hire a bunch of people. I don't want a bunch of loose cannons like running my brand, because this brand is solid. This brand brings the same avatar every single time. If you don't know what avatar means, it's your ideal client and customer, all the little things that go along with that. Like, I have niched to my niche. These girls are repeat girls. And it's not that they're not unique, but it's just I have found that niche where I get the same person over and over again, to where I can keep putting out the same brand image over and over again, which is great. But along with that, I'm only one person. I can't keep shooting 5 weddings a month like I used to. I tried that in 2021, got extremely burnt out. It was the worst. I can talk about that in another episode, just kind of like some business nightmare things. But in 2021, I learned my lesson that I cannot scale a service like this to where I would want it to go. And so, going back to that conversation on sleeping on your potential, stewarding your talents well, I have been praying the past 2 months that God would show me something that I could steward. I am just so ready to steward something well and grow it and scale it, but I haven't known what that would be until I came across Master Resale Rights and these courses. So there's one called The Roadmap, and there's one called Learn and Earn Profits. I bought the one called Learn and Earn, and guys, get this. This is so crazy. So you buy this course. It teaches you how to start a digital marketing business, which is something I was looking into. I'm sure a lot of stay-at-home moms have looked into it, because you can make really great money while taking care of your kids. It's a dream come true, honestly, especially if you want to homeschool. And so I bought the course. The course teaches you how to start the business. It teaches you how to build a sales funnel. It's a done with you course. So I had a window open here and a window open here, and I would do what they said from this module, and I would do it in this screen over here, and I would go back and forth until at the end of it, I had a sales funnel, which you can go click the link below and see what it created, see what you could create with that course. It's so beginner friendly, so understandable, so helpful. And they teach you branding, they teach you marketing, they teach you SEO, they teach you email strategies, they teach you everything. And guys, this is the thing that has lit me up, because here's the thing. It comes with Master Resale Rights, which means you can learn from this course, build what it tells you to build, and then you can turn around and sell the course for 100% profit. And that is what has sparked this video today. I got my first sale yesterday at 7:25 p.m. I saw it come in through my email when I checked the time at like 7:30. We were out with our mentors at their house at a parenting class, learning how to parent our children better in a godly way, because they've raised 4 amazing kids. And while we were there soaking in the moment, I was so in the moment, guys, I checked the time a little bit later, and there was the sale, $497. $497. Granted, I've made plenty of money in the wedding industry to where I've charged high ticket prices, but it comes at quite the service that you must supply. And so, like, for a wedding day, if I make $6,000, that means I shot 2 days, potentially I traveled. There was like all these expenses involved, a lot of time invested, lots of editing on the back end, lots of customer back and forth. But with digital marketing, it's you build it once, you email back and forth, you answer a few questions, you post on social media, and then you get the sale. It's incredible, guys. Honestly, I just want to tell everybody about Master Resale Rights right now, because it truly, I think it's life-changing. The girl that I bought from, she had made $100,000 in 20 days, and that's when I bought from her. And now it's been a little over a month for her, and she's made $196,000 on this course that you can sell over and over and over again. And if you buy the course, you get 100% profit from the sales of that course. You have the right to resell that course. Isn't that insane? Have you ever heard of this before? Maybe you're Googling it because you bought it. But if you ended up here organically, it is just wild to me. And so all of that to say, I feel like this has been an invitation for me as a believer to show up in the online space and have something to share that is extremely valuable. This is changing people's lives. I bought from that girl because she was crying. Like, she was like, her eyes were watering. She was crying and she was like, guys, I can't believe that all of this is coming in. And 200 courses is $100,000. I've sold the course one time. All I have to sell is like 199 more times, which to me is not a lot. I've shot well over 200 weddings, and that was a lot of work, a lot of work over the years. And I'm not discrediting the wedding business. I think boots on the ground businesses, of course, they make the world go round. I will continue to shoot in the wedding industry, but I want to get this information out there to you mamas who may need a break. You have been looking for something. Your husband is busting his butt. I know my husband has been. And because I've had to take a step back from weddings with raising our kids, I'm not going to sacrifice raising our kids in this season. I wanted to raise them to up until the age of 5. And even still, they're going to go to like a hybrid homeschool program after that. And so I need to be available. And I know so many of you moms have that dream too. You want to be there for your kids. I want to see every moment. I don't want to miss anything. I want to be aware. I want to influence their lives. I want to share Jesus with them. I want to read them morning devotionals, which I have a book over here on the dining table that Grace and I read. My daughter's name is Grace. And I don't regret for a second the sacrifices that we have made. We've chosen to live in a smaller house so that we can do these things, so that we're not living above our means. But Master Resale Rights, this course called Learn and Earn Profits, that comes with the ability to resell it for 100% profit, could benefit anybody, honestly. And you get to show up as you. I'm selling this course, first of all, because I feel good about it. It is a great product. It taught me so many valuable skills, and I still have more modules to go through about the email strategies and stuff that I haven't even taken the time to dive into. And I already made a sale. And guys, I'm not a social media influencer, okay? I show up for my clients through a brand that doesn't even resemble me because I built a brand outside of my personal brand. But here I am building a personal brand, and I'm going to put Jesus all over it. And I think people like that should show up too. I think there is a shift in the marketplace coming, and it is good because the world is groaning under the pain of the brokenness of this place, and kingdom people are going to be revealed. And Romans 8 says, like, the whole world is crying out for us to be revealed. And this includes the market space. This includes people with money. This includes people stewarding things well, giving generously, people who are not stingy, people who, we have these wealthy friends in our lives. They're like in their 70s. They have a beautiful home. I'd call it a mansion. It's like an estate. But this woman, she's such a godly woman. She loves Jesus. She cries out in her prayer room. It's a beautiful prayer room that she has. But she calls it sticks and rubble. She's like, oh, this is just sticks and rubble. And I think that truly it has stuck with me, you guys, because I look at all that she has, and I'm not materialistic really. So I'm like, oh, this is really nice for you. But she's like, oh, it's just sticks and rubble. Like, what a beautiful place to be, that they have all of these things at their fingertips, and they're extremely generous. They are radically generous, and they can move things with their money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And what a beautiful place to be, that they love Jesus. They haven't let money or the love of money corrupt their heart. They have assets to work with and to move the kingdom of God around with in the spheres that they are in. They get to hold influence. God has graced them with that. And I just pray more and more of that for kingdom entrepreneurs. I pray that you would guard your heart from the world, from the enticing desires for influence and fame, but use it for good. Use it for Him. Use it to draw people to Him. Keep your heart just pure and clean. And the best way to do that is to be generous. And to just give radically and to not be prideful about where your money came from. Know that you were given these talents, you were given the beauty, you were given the ability to communicate, you were given all of these things so that you could be used as a tool in His hands. And it's about time, people. It's about time that I started showing up in this space because I have so much to say, you guys. I mentioned Andy Frisella. Another person I want to mention is Jennifer Allwood. She's someone that I have looked up to in this space. She unapologetically talks about Jesus and she talks about money. She's not afraid to say the word million and like how much money she's made, but yet she will go hard for the gospel. And so all of that to say, I want to start sharing. I need to start sharing. I need to start sharing all of these business tips that I've been holding for so many years. So if you're here for that, great. If you want to get started in an online business, if you're curious about that, Master Resale Rights, the course that I bought is Learn and Earn Profits. I will link it below. You can follow that website. Please follow me on Instagram and ask me any questions, or email me at the email below as well. I am not here to like pressure anybody into sales. The beautiful thing about this course is that to me, it pretty much sells itself. And I'm so thankful that I took the chance with it because, guys, I'm already going to make profit now. I bought it for $497. I sold it for $497. So I'm at net zero. From here, it's up. It is in the black. Like, wow, like digital products are insane. And I am looking to jump into that. So if you would like to learn more about digital products, follow along on my journey here. I think it's going to be pretty fun. And I can't wait to just educate mommies like you, like me, moms who breastfeed and pack snacks and their kids yell at them and they got to give baths and wipe butts and all the things, you know, it's like, that's what we do. But you can also make incredible money with this opportunity online right now. And I just want to tell any mom out there who needs a break that you can do it too. You can make Instagram reels, you can market yourself, and you can sell something that isn't an MLM product. I'm not an MLM-y person. I've tried to consider that over the years and it just never resonates well with me, but this was such a good purchase. And I just want to tell everybody about it because knowledge is power. And this course is a crap ton of knowledge. And I think that anybody could benefit. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go do something on purpose. I'm going to go do something on purpose today. I filmed this video on purpose, so now I'm done. No, just joking. I have plenty of other things to do today, but I hope you guys subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be sharing a lot more business tips. This is also going to be a podcast. You guessed it, Sydney on Purpose. We're going to brand that all across. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.